This is Event Decor 101 with iHeart's Black Business. Today, we're talking about tables. How do you know which table to choose for your event? When deciding on a table type, there are three things to consider: the size of your room, the shape of your room, and the intended use for your table. Here are the most common types of tables used in events. The first table we have is our round table. This one in particular is 60 inches in diameter, also called a 5-foot round table. This table can typically seat 8 to 10 people. With the social distancing in place, I would recommend seating no more than 6 people at this table. That way each guest has an ample amount of space between them and the next person. This table also comes in 72 inches, which is a 6-foot round table. That table can typically seat 10 to 12 people. But again, with the social distancing, I would recommend seating no more than 8 people at a 6-foot round table. The round table can also come in a 4-foot diameter. That 48-inch table is typically used as a sweetheart table for weddings to seat the bride and groom. You can also seat 4 people typically at that table. Again, with the social distancing, I would recommend seating no more than 2 people at a 4-foot round table. The 5 and 6-foot round tables can be used for dining arrangements. There is ample amount of space for guests to have dining placements in front of them, along with other centerpiece decor. They are also great for discussion groups and breakout sessions because each of the guests can face each other and directly speak without any type of interference or having to turn around and face any awkward directions. The cons with a round table are, because it is round, you do have to fit seats around every wall. All 4 walls have to be giving space for chairs. So these typically take up more space than a square or rectangular table. Next, we have our cocktail table. This is also called a highboy. Cocktail tables can come in a 30-inch height or a 45-inch height. The round table and the other common event tables always come in a 30-inch height. Cocktail tables are great for conversation pieces, pre-event spaces, for displays. They can be used as a cake table. It can be used as an entrance table for your event. You can place a welcome sign. You can place directions on this table. Anything that you want to display can be used at this table. The highboy comes in a 45-inch height because it is great for standing arrangements. If your guests will be standing for a period of time or are very mobile throughout your event, a cocktail table would be great for that intent. The cocktail table also typically has a 30-inch diameter, and you can seat 3 people at a cocktail table. With the social distancing in place, I would recommend having no more than 1 person at a cocktail table. The cocktail tables are used often in pre-event spaces where there is mingling and networking happening. They are also great at conferences to be tied along with the round tables. You will often find cocktail tables being used around the perimeter of a room, whereas the banquet tables are being used in the center of the room, so that people who have to be on the go or plan on visiting multiple workshops at a time can easily float throughout the room without disrupting those who plan on staying and being attentive to the programming. Cocktail tables can also be used in seated arrangements. A 45-inch height would require a bar stool or another high chair in order for the guests to be able to be seated at a highboy. A cocktail table that is only 30 inches high, which is the same height as the regular round table, can be paired up with lounge seating. If you're going to be using lounge chairs or sofas during your event, I would recommend pairing it with a 30-inch high cocktail table. That way your guests have somewhere to place their drinks, their food, or their laptops, or whatever they may be carrying throughout your event while they relax. The only con with this table that I could think of is that the guests are pretty much isolated. So if you do have a large gathering, it is better for you to use a table where you can fit more guests in one space. Next, we have our rectangular table. This is an 8-foot long rectangular banquet table. It is 8 feet in length and it can fit 8 people at a typical event. You will have 4 people on each side of the table. With the social distancing in place, I would recommend having no more than 6 people at this table so that not only can everyone be spaced out a bit more, but the guests can also have alternating seating so that no one is sitting directly in front of another guest. The 8-foot long table is typically used for bridal parties, the head table for a bride and groom, dining arrangements. You will find these often at weddings, birthday parties, any place where lots of people are being gathered, but they are being gathered in smaller rooms. The rectangular banquet table only seats guests on 2 sides of the table instead of 4. So these tables can typically be placed directly against a wall or very close to the wall without having to be concerned with chair space or walking space in between the table and the wall. If you have a smaller room or a tight-fitting room, you will most likely want to use a rectangular table. Along with the 8-foot table, we also have the 6-foot rectangular table. This one is only 6 feet in length, but it serves the same purposes as the 8-foot table. This table typically can fit 6 guests, but with the social distancing, again, I would recommend having no more than 4 people at this table. That way your guests can be spaced out and the seating can be altered so no guest is seated directly in front of another. You can use a 6-foot table for your bridal parties or your head tables as well to seat your bride and your groom. Larger wedding parties typically use the 8-foot long tables for king's table seating, head table seating, or for fitting the entire bridal party. Also, these can be used for specialty tables. A 6-foot long rectangular banquet table can be used as a gift table at a baby shower or a wedding or a birthday party. It can also be used for holding food. So typically a food table that you'll see at an event will be 8 feet long in diameter. But if you have a smaller room, once again, you can always use a 6-foot long rectangular table to hold food. Specialty tables that you don't see here include farm tables. Those are more popular these days for larger weddings and other events because typically they can hold up to 12 and 14 people at a single table. Farm tables are rectangular in shape and typically they will only seat people on 2 sides of the table, just like these banquet tables. However, if you do have a large party and it is a wedding or some type of special event where 2 people may be highlighted, you can always fit 1 person at the head and 1 person at the foot of the table and utilize all 4 sides. Farm tables do come in a variety of lengths, but again, they can be up to 14 guests at a single table. Another specialty table type is the block letter table. You will find block letters made out of foam pieces, and they will typically have an acrylic or glass top placed above the letters in order to form that table. This is a great way to customize an event for your guests. Typically, you will find these at a baby shower or a birthday party with the name of the person being celebrated. If you do have a large budget, I would recommend going out of your way to customize the event and grab one of these block letter tables for you. If you do not plan on spending an extra amount of money on something like this, because these letters can be expensive, And because you're spelling out a particular person's name, it's typically only a one-time use unless you are an event planner with your own business and you are specializing in baby showers or birthday parties. Then this is most likely going to be a one-time use for you. And I would not recommend going out of your way to purchase these letters because they can be quite expensive. You can get them coated. If you have an outdoors event, you will have to get them coated, which will be an extra charge. If you want them made out of different materials other than that foam, it'll be an extra charge. If you want them to include lights or any special paint colors, that will also be an upcharge. So again, if you don't have it in your budget to go out of your way and really customize the event for your guests, then you can always get another specialty table that just matches the decor of the event or matches the aesthetic without having it spell out someone's name. Another type of table that is very popular these days are the cylinder pedestals. These are typically 1 to 2 feet in diameter, and they do vary in height. They are cylinders and they are used to display different items. So typically you will find these as a cake table or a treats table at an event. And event planners typically do use them to display decor during styled shoots and other special events. So you may find a flower arrangement on there. At a wedding or baby shower, you may find family pictures or pictures of the bride and groom on a pedestal. And they are very convenient to use because they take up so little space and they come in various different heights. So really whatever need you may have, whatever you may want to display, there is definitely a cylinder pedestal out there that you can use. They are also highly popular today because not only can you purchase them from various locations, they are also very easy for you to create and build on your own. And there are lots of different videos, blogs, articles, and books to show you how to build these cylinder pedestals on your own. So there's lots of resources out there, and I don't think they're going to be going away anytime soon. So again, let's recap. We have our round tables that come in 4, 5, and 6 feet in diameter, which can hold anywhere from 6 to 12 people. Great for discussion groups and for dining arrangements. We have our cocktail/high boy, which is great for mobile and on-the-go events. Also great for isolating attendees. And we also have our rectangular banquet tables, which is great and typically used for head tables, bridal parties, and dining arrangements as well. If you have a large room, typically you will find a round table. If you have a smaller room, a rectangular table will fit your needs more. If you have some attendees that will be on the go and some that will be seated, a cocktail table would be great to use in addition to using a round table as well. Our specialty tables include farm tables, block letter tables, and cylinder pedestals. If there is any other type of table out there that you would like us to cover, or if you have any questions about how to use tables, how to determine what type of table goes with the shape of your room, or if there are other topics that you would like us to discuss in our series, leave your comments down below and we will be sure to include them in a video in the future. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you found it informational, share it with your network, and subscribe to the channel for more. Thank you for watching Event Decor 101 with iHeart Black Business.